Hi, I'm Monica. When you leave school, there are lots of changes to deal with. This is one of those big life stages people talk about. It's sometimes called the transition. Transition planning aims to make sure that young people with disabilities have the same opportunities as everyone else and can work towards their ambitions and goals. Like me, some people decide to move to college or university after school. It can be exciting but challenging time when your choices and responsibilities increase and you get to join a huge and exciting group of people called the students. Although everyone needs a hand to get things sorted, some people with disabilities have additional things that they need to arrange when they're going to college or university. This is where the transition and planning process is really useful. It involves preparing as early as possible by working together as a team with a wide range of people. But the most important bit is that the young person is kept at the centre of it all. So what's the journey into further and higher education like? Well, of course, it varies for each person, but here are some students at different stages who can tell you their story and how it has been for them.
Hello, my name is Padraig Courtney. I'm a 17-year-old who is studying at the Newry SRC. I first started the Newry SRC in September 2007, doing a first diploma in media studies. When I finished that year, I then went on to complete a national diploma in media studies, which I'm still studying. The feelings that I had when I was leaving my previous school, which was marked were both happy feelings and both sad. The sad feelings that I had was the people I grew up with from that school year I was being no longer with after the 5 years. On the other hand, the happy feelings that I had was that coming to the SRC it was going to give me more independence. I was closer to home and less hours for classes. When I came to the SRC, I felt nervous as I didn't know anything about the college really. I did not know any of the lecturers who I could go to with any problems. This was all made clear that I arrived as I was shown around. I met the learning support coordinator, was shown my classrooms, how they were set out to suit my needs, and I actually met my personal care assistant Fiona, who is really hard working. There was meetings upon meetings to sort out what I needed, what problems there was and how we were going to overcome them. This was all done through transition meetings. Transition meetings are about breaking down barriers, obstacles in the way, and planning ahead. People who were there was my OTs, my physio, representatives from the SRC Estates, learning support coordinator of the SRC, my parents, transition coordinator, the head of ECPD of St Mark's High School, and my social worker. The transition meetings were very well planned out, as it gave everyone a chance to say what they think's best for me, but overall it gave me the power to say what it is, because after all nobody knows what's better for me but me. I'm due to leave Newry SRC in June 2010 to then undertake more studies at the University of Ulster to study youth work. Youth work has always been something that I wanted to do from I started with my local youth club called the Three West Community Centre.
My name is Mary Elaine McCavert and I'm studying psychology at Queen's. I'm in second year, so I've one more year to go, and I've stayed in Elms for all my years up in Queen's, and then I hope to also stay in Elms next year. Well, all of my family went to university, my brothers and sisters, so I've always, sort of wanted to go. Although we were kind of, I suppose, worried in a way what it was going to be like, because we realised it might be a bit difficult for me to go. But then whenever we came to Queen's and we realised what was available to help, we realised it wouldn't be too much of a problem. Mum especially was really worried, just because I'm the youngest too, I suppose, so she panicked a wee bit. But then again, whenever we looked at what was available, it was fine. I had a transitions officer, Pauline, who was just brilliant. She brought me up to Queen's quite a few times to look round and to meet the disability advisor, and then obviously my social worker helped out a lot, and then just everybody up at Queen's in accommodation, and then ones in the David Care where I am now. For me and probably my family, it was the transitions officer, because it gave me a chance to actually see what I was coming up to and to see what things were going to be like, so that I wasn't just sort of starting my first day and not really knowing, what was going to happen. So. Yeah, I have a care package up here, which basically means that there's a lady who comes in, Joanne, and she would help me with things like, say, put my shoes on in the morning because I'm useless at that, and then things like making dinner if I feel lazy, and just sort of tidying my room, just the usual sort of things I suppose that I would need help with. So she would come in about 18 hours a week and just sort of do what I need done. So it's great, really useful. What I have between 9 and 5 is I have a note taker or a PA, and then he sort of comes round with me around campus and takes my notes. And then after 5, then I would have Joanne, as I say, and she'd come in at breakfast and dinner, and then just whenever I need her, really. Really great. It's really, really good. I love it. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world, because I have so many friends up here, and I just love it up here, and just the way I life up here, and being away from home and the chance to be independent and to do what I want when I want, and it's just great. So I kind of don't want to leave, just stay here. So no, it's good. To be honest, it's been pretty great, because if I have a problem, if I can't get in a door, or if I have a problem, first of all, my note taker's there so he can do it for me, or again, I can just tell my disability officer and he'll fix everything for me, so I've had no real problems at all. The fact that I actually get a chance to get a degree and to do a job that I actually want to do, and to be independent and just sort of do what everybody else does, and just sort of make no difference. And then also the fact, obviously, the chance to make friends and have a bit of fun and enjoy the whole student experience. So, yeah, that's kind of it. To be honest, I think I'm exceptionally lucky, because I don't actually have any challenges. Probably the main thing, without the care, the care package of a lady coming in every day, I would find it a lot harder, because she's a great support, because it just means that I can be more organised and I don't get as tired. But apart from that, I think, the main challenges is the same challenges as every student has, and that's actually having to revise and sit down and do things, but that's it, No. Absolutely, and I'm not just saying that either, just there's nothing, everything's been really great and everyone's been lovely, so yeah.
I'm a 22-year-old student. I took a gap year after my A-levels and decided that I'd like to go to university. I'm studying computer science in Korean. I'm a very outgoing and social person. After finishing school, it seemed like the next step for me, so I just started looking into how I could do it, and I found that it was possible with help, and I've ended up going to university. I had support from several people. The transition worker from the trust and my social worker from the physical disability team and my occupational therapist and care manager. I met with them and they talked about things like staying in accommodation and sorting out the care package that I needed. I met with several of the professionals who were helping me through the planning process, as well as meeting with the disability advisors in Korean. I also attended an open day in Korean, and I did a trial run of the accommodation, which was good because it pointed out some of the issues that we hadn't thought of before. I also found out about public transport and how I would be able to access the trains to travel from home to university. One of the challenges was finding the opportunity to socialise with other students. Most of the clubs were sports clubs, and even though I couldn't take part in their training, I was able to join the club and get to know the other students and join in on their social activities. Another issue for me was the accessibility. Generally the access was good to the university campus, but one of the things I found was that in the lecture theatres I had to sit at the very front of the theatre, and that meant that I was isolated from the other students because nobody likes to sit in the front row. I think it's challenging for everybody living away from home for the first time. I decided after the multi-agency meetings that I should use a direct payment to buy in the care that I needed. I think this has really increased the flexibility I have over my care arrangements.
Hello, I'm Danny Rafferty. I've just come home from 4 years of study at Huddersfield University, and now I'm just back in Uri where I've lived all my life, and just taking it easy for the time being before I find my first job, which hopefully shouldn't be too soon. Well, from an earlier stage when you do your careers stuff and everything in secondary school, I had an idea of the kind of area I'd want to go into, and maybe taking it as far as I could academically. But it only really became a reality when at the end of technical college, before I went to university, when everyone else was filling out their UCAS forms and things, I got the same idea to pursue it and see what would come out of me wanting to go to university. It was mainly the internet, I would say, very useful, I'm sure. But most students would probably say that. And just, through social services and occupational therapists and people through like the muscular dystrophy campaign or whatever that I was involved in because of my disability, just to find any advice if there'd be any difficulty. I'd imagine at the beginning, the idea of the undertaking of it, and just the fact that I'd be, gone for a while, probably seemed a bit strange. But the fact that I was very, committed to it and very enthusiastic, it didn't seem too much of a hassle to my mother or whatever, and the fact that, it was something I definitely wanted to do, so. My support package ended up being, quite a surprise of a thing, in that, it seemed difficult up until the last moment where the disability support coordinator in Huddersfield said maybe I'd like to look at this about CSV, Community Service Volunteer. It was a volunteering organisation that would provide carers for disabled people, looking to live semi-independently. So, I jumped at that. It seemed a very good idea. Compared to the fact I was in England, on top of everything else, meant that the cost of a regular care package with through social services with care agencies and everything would have been very costly and stuff, and that was always where there was a wee bit of a question as to whether it could be done. But it turned out that these CSVs, I got 3 people working a rota, practically 24/7. They changed each year. I got new people. This was for their year out that they would be mainly volunteering to care for people. The fact that it was me and 2 other students and a total of maybe 8 or so CSVs working around the Huddersfield area, with people at the University of Huddersfield, meant that they wanted to step up the disability support end of things, and who would liaise with social services and everything else. So in the end we had a very capable woman, Glenda Smith, working with us, and she was in charge of all the CSVs. Just be willing to support them and know that the support is out there. There's a lot of stuff that everybody's entitled to as a disabled person, so it shouldn't be that much of an undertaking. I don't know if I'd be a political commentator or anything like that, but it's nice to have that. And I'd maybe do see myself in future being a lecturer on video games, maybe. Would like to do that if I had the right sort of academic head, but depends. I like the fact that I got a degree, even though a lot of the essays I got didn't get great grades, but anyway, as long as you can express yourself. But I've come back full circle. I've studied politics, but I would probably like to work for a newspaper.